How's it going, everybody? Today's project is this free Ariens push mower that I just got off of Marketplace. And overall, it looks like it's in half decent shape. It looks like some rusty water, but that'll clean up, no problem. It's self-propel and has a bagger on the back. So, I mean, this is a pretty decent mower if I can get it running. Doesn't look like there's any real rust on it at all. But the one thing two things I noticed. One is that the handlebars are a little bit crooked, but that's not a big deal. The big thing, and I knew about this already, and this is why the guy's getting rid of it, is this. You can see right into the side of the engine. So obviously there was a lack of oil, or the engine was over revving and it probably threw a connecting rod, and part of it came out the side of the engine block. So that's today's project. Now I have another 6.75 horsepower Briggs & Stratton up here on one of my benches that I've been saving for a project, and hopefully we can get this guy onto that mower. Now we're going to change some of the parts. This one has a choke style system, which I'm not sure if I'll keep on here or if I'll go to this guy, which is the this actually has a auto choke system. So I'll have to decide that after, but yeah, let's dive into this guy and see if we can get it running again. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do as I'm trying to take this engine off is to remove cable. This might be impossible to do one-handed, but I'm just essentially I'm squeezing the two tabs on this cable right there, and when you squeeze those, and you can push the plastic part through like that, and then it just comes up a little slot right there, and then you just remove the Z-bend like so. Okay, so that's all the cables really that are attached to this thing. So now I'm going to flip it over and go ahead and remove the blade, and I'll undo the engine as well. Alright, so I did remove all of the fuel already. I'm not going to bother with removing the spark plug wire because there's no chance this thing's ever going to start with the damage it has. So 9/16. See if I can get this belt off. And the blade adapter is nice and not seized on there, so that'll just leave. And then I believe these are half inch bolts. So I'm going to see how much resistance there is. So not much resistance. If there was any sort of real resistance on these bolts, I'd probably try and get them out hand by using a ratchet and a socket, only because I've snapped these off on the block, the engine block before. So I'll start with the bottom one. I'll leave one of these top ones in, probably this guy, because it does have a bracket. And I'll take these two out first. And as you can see, the engine's already loose because I've loosened off this bolt. And what I'll do is I'll hold it on the top side here while I unloosen this last one. Alright, and then I'll just slide it down and through. And it's as easy as that, as quick as that, to remove the engine. Okay guys, so here's the two engines side by side, and they look pretty similar. I mean, one's maybe painted or coated, and one's silver, one's black. Now you can get a really good look at this busted crankcase and the connecting rod's right there, and it's been sheared off at the end of it there. But the one thing I didn't look for, which you always have to do, is the length of the crankshaft that comes out the bottom. So this is off the self-propel that's busted. This one, unfortunately, would not be off a self-propel, because the length of the shaft, if you look at the two side by side, the length of the crankshaft coming out the bottom is not the same. This guy's way shorter. So unfortunately this motor is not going to work on that machine. Now I'm working a deal for later to pick up another one that has the same engine as well, off of a self-propel. So hopefully that engine is good, and we'll be able to use that on this deck. So until then guys, I'm going to cut the video for now, and hopefully I can pick this back up when I have a new engine. Hey guys, I just picked up this new mower. I actually paid a little bit for it just because it's got the engine that I'm looking for the Ariens mower. This has a 725 series. The Ariens, I believe, had a 650 or 675 series, but they're pretty much all the same. This one's got the auto choke system. It is missing the top cover, as you can see. It's part of it's still left there. But I did pull it over. It has compression. I did spray some starter fluid in the carburetor, and actually pulled it over just to see if I could get it to puff, and it did. So the next thing would be to check the blade underneath and just make sure. It's pretty hard to see under here, but it looks to me it's got the exact same bracket for the self-propel, and so I believe this donor engine is going to work on my Ariens.